Lakers family, I felt it before I heard it the way this city hums when something real is about to break. The kind of low, heavy current that turns a routine evening into one you'll remember by the way the air tasted. A message lit up my phone, the kind that doesn't come with emojis or nonsense. Just a quiet line that means stand up straight and pay attention. I finished my coffee, looked out at Figueroa, and I knew I had to hit record because tonight isn't about rumor for clicks. It's about a choice only serious teams make. A choice that hurts because it means you're trying to win the last game of the year and not just the next one. Here's where I'm giving you, clean and straight, the exact needs that kept showing up on film against length and pressure. The cap rails that leave no middle ground in this new CBA. The New York profile that actually fits our stars instead of crowding them. The rotation ripple the second this goes live. The timeline math for chemistry and fatigue. And the truth about why this move is bigger than any one name, even though it touches a name that we love like family. Stay with me and I'll connect every dot without jumping the gun or dressing it up. When we arrive at the center, you'll feel why the room turned from hypothetical to actionable, and why the emotion you're feeling right now is the same feeling inside the building. Start with the game itself, not the headline. LeBron is still a walking advantage, the smartest map in the league. The guy who bends a defense just by standing in the wrong place for them, but he's human and the calendar is a fact. AD remains the most terrifying two-way presence when he's healthy and fed in rhythm. But the violence of playoff basketball stacks bodies on his path if you don't clear them with structure. Our supporting cast has real juice, real nights where the ball sings. But against elite length, the final 5 minutes shrank on us too often. And possessions turn into knife fights where our spacing and size were tested on every closeout. The staff watched that on loop in August and September, and again in preseason. Taller wings top-locked our shooters. Guards got hunted in the action. And late clock reads forced LeBron into improv. We shouldn't be asking for every night in April. In the new CBA world, you don't get to buy insurance in February without paying interest all season. And you don't hold everyone forever without saying no to the thing you need most. The board inside the practice facility carried the same sentence for weeks. We need more length that can stay on the floor against elite scorers. More quick decision shooting that doesn't stare at the rim like it's a museum piece. And a secondary driver who bends coverage without a screen, so the second unit stops playing uphill. That's not a shot at anybody's heart. It's the grown-up part of chasing trophies. Why New York? Because their roster architecture is exactly what answers our gaps without robbing us of identity. They're deep with wings who guard first and move the ball. They're serious about the glass, and they can send back contracts that thread the needle under the tax strip wires. They don't want to rip out their foundation. They want to sand edges and sharpen fits around a lead guard who lives in the paint. That makes conversations possible where both teams get closer to their best selves without lighting a match to their culture. And let's be real about the money, because the money tells the truth. Matching salary isn't a suggestion. It's math that either works or doesn't under the second apron rules. You can't take fluff, you can't ship vibes. You stack mid-tier deals that play in May. You keep pick flexibility, same protections that respect tomorrow without punting today. And you only say yes if the incoming pieces check 3 boxes. A long wing who lowers shooting percentages by just existing in a stance. A spacer who shoots on the catch and doesn't hijack possessions. And a guard who doesn't need training wheels to organize a bench group while LeBron breathes and the D stays vertical without back-to-back heavy lifts. If you want to see the court the way the coaches see it, picture this because it's what sold me. Fourth quarter, game within 2. We invert the floor. LeBron off ball on the weak side. AD setting a ghost screen that forces a switch. The new guard turns the corner without a screen because he can. The strong side wing lifts just enough to pull the tag. One kick, one more, and the ball is flying faster than the help can think. On the next possession, we flow into delayed tall wing at the top, making the read. AD catches at the nail instead of the block. A quick handoff, and now a closeout is a foul or a layup. That is not highlight reel stuff. That is adult basketball that holds up under bright lights. And it's the kind of sequence we lacked when teams lived big and kept our third creator in a vice. If you're hearing the drum here, good. This isn't about chasing a magic trick. It's about stacking 10 tiny advantages until they feel like a sledgehammer. Now to human piece, because we're not robots and you're not either. The name at the middle of this is part of our story. He came in undrafted and taught the building how much fun honesty can be. He hit shots we had no business getting back. He grinned like it was a pickup run and then went out and closed professional games with 2 legends on his shoulders. He connected fans to the floor because he felt like us tough, smart, unpretentious. And then he became more than that, the third voice in a conversation that usually only has 2. That's exactly why this is so hard and exactly why it's real. The things that make him ours also make him the piece that brings back what we don't have. You can't beat the longest teams in the league at the end of games with love alone. You need arms. You need lower heart rates. You need the pass to leave a beat earlier and the shot to leave a beat faster. That's the exchange rate of banners. What comes back? Profiles, not promises. First, a wing who eats tough cover so LeBron can choose his spots and our guards. Stop drowning in target practice. Someone who turns stars into workers by making them dribble twice. Second, a shooter who doesn't blink, who treats daylight like a deadline, who takes the pass and makes the defense pay without a monologue. Third, a driver who runs bench groups like a grown-up, who buys a D-easy catches when everyone else is tight, who lets the second unit play on script instead of praying for a heater. You put those 3 ideas in one trade, and the closing lineup looks different in the best ways. More size at the point of attack. Fewer emergency switches, cleaner spacing. And an offense that sounds like a metronome when the building gets loud. Rotation-wise, this means we lean bigger on the perimeter with starters, which reduces the number of possessions where a small guard becomes the pressure valve for the other team. It gives the second unit structure, where actions can be repeated without becoming predictable because the decisions are fast and the floor is wide. For LeBron, it shaves off the possessions that ask him to be painter, canvas, and gallery all at once. For AD, it turns hard catches into routine catches and routine catches into dunks. And for everyone else, it makes roles feel like jobs instead of tasks. Do your thing, do it well, and the math will love you. The cap sheet breathes too. You balance incoming money with outgoing money so you can still maneuver at the margins payout season. A veteran minimum with a pulse, and you avoid turning the back end of your roster into a museum of unmovable contracts. The medical team gets to plan cadence instead of triage. Practice days look like construction, not crisis. And the identity the coach has been quietly pushing bigger, calmer, meaner in the small spaces, finally has a chance to live on the floor for weeks, not for experimental quarters. I'm not selling you a fairy tale. We'll miss the 2-man rhythm that arrived without a meeting. We'll miss the way a tough shot felt easy in the right hands and the way the bench erupted when a possession that should have died came back to life. We'll miss the connection between a player and a city that saw itself in him. But we're here to hang metal and take pictures with confetti in our hair. And that means you accept the bruise if it buys you the inches that decide a series. You deserve the line clean. So I'll give it to you straight, right now. Without music or suspense, the framework treated seriously by both sides. Sends are connected to New York. The outgoing piece is Austin Reeves. That's the truth that explains everything else. The urgency, the caution, the math, the emotion, and that's the moment where this stops being about opinions and becomes about whether we want to win the argument. That happens at the rim in late May. Sit with it. I did. I thought about the nights he saved us, about the chemistry, about the kid from Arkansas who walked into the city and played like he was born in it. And then I watched the longest teams on film close windows we couldn't open fast enough. Felt the size that swallowed our small guards. saw the help sit on a D's chest and dare us to punish it, and I understood the room's decision. If the return is what it's framed to be, length, a clean shooter, and a second driver who doesn't sweat the math bends. LeBron's reads get simpler. AD's catches get closer. The bench stops chasing the game and starts steering it. Your fourth quarters change from coin flips to chores for the other side. The coaches sleep better because they can call plays they trust instead of hoping for magic. And the fans, us, you and me, we can believe in a version of this team that doesn't have to be perfect to be great. The timing matters as much as the names. Do it now and you buy reps. You let the new voices make mistakes in November, so they're singing in March. You set workloads that keep the stars powerful without asking for miracles. You push the offense toward habits that scale under pressure. And when seeding starts to shake out, you're not learning on national TV, you're executing muscle memory. Culture isn't collateral damage here. It's the point. Making a hard decision for basketball reasons tells the room that standards beat sentiment, that comfort doesn't trump clarity, that you respect the stars by removing the junk that makes their jobs harder. It also tells the city we're not collecting jerseys. We're building a wall in front of the parade route. That's the only language that should matter to us. Professionally, here's my concise read, so it's on the record. Trading a beloved connector is a gut punch, but the return profile answers the exact questions the postseason kept asking us. We get longer at the point of attack, quicker in decision-making, steadier in bench creation. We protect LeBron from grinding possessions and feed a D cleaner looks. We tilt closing time back in our favor against the teams that turned our offense into a wrestling match. It's not fireworks. It's architecture. Personally, I'll say what all of you are feeling. Thank you to a player who made this fun. Thank you for the grin, the footwork, the fearless fourth quarters. That gratitude can live in the same breath as the demand for banners, and both can be true without apology. I want your voice in this because this is our team, and this community has been sharp all year. Tell me how you'd set the close-in 5 post-trade. Who brings the ball up when the game goes into the phone booth? Which actions you trust when the other team switches everything? And where you draw the line on picks and protections if this drags. Be honest, be specific, and be loud in the comments. I'm reading everything, and this channel is built on that dialogue. I'll keep it direct to the end. Lakers and Knicks are aligned on a path that moves Austin Reeves and brings back the length, the shot, and the driver that playoff basketball demands. If the final details land where they should, this is the kind of move that doesn't win you a Tuesday headline, but wins you a Sunday in June. Lock in with me at Lakers News Fan Report subscribe. Hit the like so more Lakers fans find us. And keep your alerts on, because the next hours and days will shape how this season feels in your chest. I'll be here with fast updates and honest film, no fluff. We ride together. Let's go win real games.